Hello there, my name is Edwin and I'm going to present to you my site design. Okay, first we're going to start off with the building approach. Our site, there are three building approach that I think that is significant for our design. Okay, the first approach is from the mall where most of the people usually comes from. Okay, this is one of the most crucial approach because this is where I want most of the people to come from this side and then they can see the main entrance right away. My building is arranged in a way that it doesn't block the landmark of the site. I'm trying to embrace the event stage as most people know the site for. So I want it to be shown as much as possible, not being too blocked by my building. The second approach is actually coming from the tower, set between two of the vegetation planter box that is already there. And the third approach is actually from the side of the restaurants, where there's actually quite a good pathway and quite an interesting view to see our building. And how I actually use this approach is actually I use lines and vegetation to direct people into the building and make it more welcome. Alright, next is for the building entrance. Okay, for the main entrance coming from the main approach, I actually make the entrance to have a few like a tunnel-like entrance. It gives a sense of mystery to the people who's coming to the building. Okay, and then we have a side entrance where it's facing the stage. This entrance is mainly given for people coming from other locations like the tower or the restaurants. Okay, the third aspect is the handicap parking. I prepared two handicap parking for my building and it's located near the drop-off. Transfer area is provided to the handicapped people and is located beside the pathway so that the handicapped people can walk to the pathway straight away. And beside the handicapped parking, we have the drop-off zone. For the drop-off zone, I designed it to have 2 cars at a time. I changed my drop-off zone from my previous design and this time I actually put it at approach number 3 because there's not enough space in my previous proposed idea for a drop-off zone and parking to be there, as I want my parking and my drop-off zone to be as close as possible. And secondly, I feel like I put my drop-off zone here so to avoid congestion because my loading bay is at top here. Alright, for my loading bay, I focus on giving more road width for the lorries to have ease when they are driving through the loading bay and to unload the stuff they're trying to deliver. And then in between those loading bay, I actually put space between the main road and the loading bay to separate the two different roads. So where I put my drop-off zone and my loading bay will result in this road circulation design. So you can see that the drop-off zone and the loading bay is far apart so that it won't cause as much congestion as for the pathway. I only set design is from the approach. And because the inner pathway, I think that it will be changed after my building form comes out. Right now my building form haven't been designed yet, so I think that the inner pathway that will be changed a bit. But for what I propose, my inner pathway should have at least a minimum width of 2 meters. The pathway at the main entrance going up here is one side bigger as I want people to walk from the left then go through the building so they can experience that front facade. So the one at the right is actually not being used to go up, only the left. I also allow a back pathway at the back of my building to allow people to walk through the site. And finally we go to the vegetation. Most of the vegetation at the site remains untouched and those which are actually displaced to make my loading bay and my drop-off zone, they are actually not destroyed, they are just relocated for a better location. Like 2 of them is actually located between my drop-off zone to actually buffer it, to make it nicer. And a few of them is relocated at the back of the stage to block off the ugly views, and also some of them is relocated in between the main road and the loading bay, so just to block off what's going on in the loading bay at the main road point of view. So from this diagram I come up with a site plan in 1 to 200 scale to show the latest design so far. There are some small changes I made, mainly it's actually the pathway to the smaller part of my showroom at the bottom left, in which I made it circular to respond to the stage and have that part of the building facing at a different angle towards my pathway. Everything else still remains the same and is just shown in better detail. Now I'm going to show you an overview of my design through my model where you can see all the design aspects that I had explained earlier. My model has a few additions, being the roof I put at the parking, drop-off and loading bay for protection from the sun and rain. That is all for my presentation. Thank you very much.